should high school athletes be able to transfer freely in high school? And it's a very interesting question I'm going to break down in this video. Now, you can make an argument for both sides of this situation. Should high school players be allowed to transfer? Should they have to stay at one school? You can make the argument for both, and I'm going to go both sides in my opinion. I think for they allow transfer side, you watch college athletes, they do it, and maybe at a small school and you're doing well, but as a small school, people don't really look at you because maybe lesser competition. So you transfer to a bigger school and get more, and more people watch you. More eyes are watching you. Better chance to get recruited. It, I mean, I get it. I definitely do. And also the ability to transfer maybe because you moved or something. And you shouldn't be able, if you move, you shouldn't just miss out a whole year on sports just because of it. And this applies to not just West Virginia, it applies to the whole everybody for this. It's just because last video I made about the West Virginia new rule. If you want to check that out, it'll be on the end screen. But it's very interesting about the new rule that they can still transfer but limited. But transferring in high school, it's hard because you're gonna have super teams, and high school is not really meant to be a sport. It's about getting your good grades, getting your diploma. It's not about being good at sports and having super teams and worry about sports and all that. But I'm a big sports guy. Sports, it does matter, but that's comes second. Uh, but sports is just, it's at this point that it's college ruined it because the transfer portal, and I think it's good for this side for players to transfer just because of getting more people to watch them and all that. Now the other side, which it's my side, is people should not be able to transfer. Now, obviously, I think people still can get waivers for like moving, and you can get it for maybe just school doesn't have the greatest testing scores and other schools do. You can do that. But I don't think people should transfer just based off sports. If people transfer based off sports, and people be transferred almost every year, and then you have then that hurts the small schools. Small schools have limited players, and if those the good players on small schools get the good, and big schools get their players, there's no chance for the little schools because if you really think about it, there's one good Jacob on the small school. There's four good Jacobs over here at the big school, and if one goes to 5-0, there's no chance. Either way, it's still a little chance. But if you keep big players from small schools go to big schools, then there's no chance for them. And you also got to think some other schools maybe don't have the classes that other schools have. So high school diplomas, how does that work? And it just it makes it much more difficult. Before this transfer thing happened, you're allowed to transfer, but you have to sell 365 unless you get a waiver. But I don't know. I feel like the transfer is dumb. For high school at least. At the college, I think it's fine. It needs to be limited, but I feel like for high school it shouldn't be a thing because these kids, some of them are 14, 15 transferring. They shouldn't be doing that. 20-year-olds should because they know what they're doing. But different. It's different when people move, get waivers and all that. I'm fine with like actually physically moving. And the problem with the transfer and moving thing is the rich people can move to schools that kids want to go, and the other people are just left behind. And that's you can't really fix that. It's a problem, but you can't fix it. Um, I don't know how to change the rule, but there's both sides, and obviously my side is no one should be allowed to transfer for sports, just straight up off sports. Um, wow. Whatever school you go to, you should stay there. Unless you physically move, or like I said, the test scores are terrible, and you are want to go get better test scores for college, get a good college and all that, then do it. But it shouldn't be based off just strictly sports. It's all strictly sports, and I don't think people should transfer based off that. I don't know what other states of West Virginia's new rule, either one-time transfer. I don't think you should transfer, but that's my opinion. Other people may think transfer in high school for their kids, but I'm 18 years old, and then other people have kids that maybe they want to transfer just for their sake. But in my opinion, I don't think players should be able to transfer just strictly off sports. It should be off test scores. If the school is doing terrible in test scores and they want to go and get to a better, more challenging school, then they can do that. Or the other one is like if he physically moves. So that's my opinion. What's y'all's opinion on this? And I know it's a topic that's really popped up recently with with Trump and the new college rule that might apply to these college athletes. What do y'all think? Hope y'all enjoyed this video. Video should be popping up soon, the end screen for the first video on the channel. Hope y'all watched that, and I hope y'all enjoyed. Peace out.